Good morning, you guys. Happy Easter. I thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. If you're new here, like, share, and subscribe. And if you're an OG, like, share, subscribe as well. You can tell from the title why we're here. I'm giving you guys a review. I'll put a ring on it. Basically, to the point where we're at the point where they actually are deciding whether or not they want to go out with either refuse to go out with another person or decide they want to. Our first couple, which is Jasmine and Jay, they've been dating a year. They both are here because they basically are trying to figure out whether or not they want to continue the relationship. Jasmine has basically letting him know that she actually wants to get married. Jay is dragging his heels, so as a result, they are to the point they had to come to the show. Both of them are to the point where they are entrepreneurs. They met in Cancun, and they come to the conclusion that they really love each other, but like she said she wants to make sure that he actually is into her, and this is not going to be to the point where he's going to take her for granted. She basically tells about an incident when they were in Cancun. He was to the point he was a little too chummy with an actual female, and she said that basically she's been having trust issues when it comes to the relationship. He basically assures Dr. Michelle that it's not to the point that he should be getting any backlash from her, because at the end of the day, he said he's been faithful to her. They've given the option whether or not they want to go out with anybody, and they decide they do. But here's the cliffhanger: the person they actually will be going out with is actually an ex. So he to the point he seems like he's nonchalant. And the reason why I say nonchalant is when he actually was caught in Cancun actually speaking to the other lady. I get vibes that maybe he likes this particular young lady, but I don't think it's to the point where he wants to marry her and be in it for the long haul. But we'll look around, and most important, we'll look around and see. Next couple is Jashia and Toya. They've been dating 2 years. Jashia's to the point that you can tell she's about her business. She basically is putting his feet to the fire, as older people would say. She's telling him to either marry her or she's going to move on. She's basically giving him an ultimatum. He knows why he's here, and if he's smart, he will do what he got to do to keep her. She seems like a really articulate young lady. She knows what she wants. And as she told him, they've been dating 2 years, so it's time to, put a ring on it. Hence the name of the show. They both go on dates with other people this week. They decided they want to go on new dates, and they didn't know that they were actually going out with exes. So that's the cliffhanger of this particular scene. So come to find out that they decided that they did want to go on a date, but I just basically was giving y'all a actual introduction. Now we're gonna move on to Charlene and her actual man. The reason why I started out with Charlene is because first of all, Charlene was blindsided as well. She didn't know that not only was her mate gonna go out with his ex, but he going out with his ex-wife. Now he not only has he been married one time, but he's to the point he's slow about putting a ring on her finger. And the reason why he says that is because he says he wants to be sure, which I say is a cop out. Now we'll get to why I say that. Now basically the ex-wife is saying that she discussed and told him what she wanted him to do and not do on the particular date. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's basically a red flag, and I'm going to tell you why. Because at the end of the day, this particular show, that's why we're here. You to explore other relationships and then decide whether or not you want to actually be with your mate. Okay, Catherine decides that she wants to go on a date with her ex, Corey. She feels she has trust issues with her ex. So therefore, she said that she decided that she's not going to go on a second date. Now, here's the cliffhanger. Her potential, I say fiance, decided that they want to go further. He decided that he not only want to go out with his ex, but he decided he want to go on a second date. Now, me personally, I would consider that to be a red flag. She's a little too nonchalant. She basically tells the doctor that she actually not only didn't know that he was going to go out with his ex, but she thought maybe he's gonna go out with an ex-girlfriend, not his ex-wife. And the fact that he wants to go on another day, she said that doesn't sit well with her. He basically gives a little smirk, and I can tell what it is. He basically is dangling that ex-wife in her face. I personally think she needs to run, but she's not. Now that's we're gonna get back to them in a minute. We also go over to Dashia and Joya. He goes out with his ex. That's to the point where they basically hit it off. He basically tells the doctor that he actually is enjoying the date with his ex, even though his ex, when they were actually dating, he did have trust issues with her. So he said he can, decides that he wants to tell her why he had trust issues, and they basically revisit why they came to the point where they would no longer be a couple. I don't see any kind of red flags with him as far as that, his date with his ex. And he pretty much was keeping cool, and he wasn't to the point he was doing all that flirting or anything like that. So I really don't think that his girlfriend, Daria, had anything to worry about. But Daria spins the narrative and she goes out with her ex as well, and the doctor gives her advice in the actual meeting that you basically have to let the man lead. I don't know if the doctor, to the point she was foreshadowing or what, but the shield was clearly bothered by the fact that her ex, that he went out with his ex, and I'm thinking that she probably knew of the ex or how it went. But you can tell that her fellow was ruffled, and she to the point where it kind of, she probably was second guessing herself. Well, she tried to stay cool as a cucumber, but you could tell and look in her face that someone right. But Dashia is basically a go-getter. She's a CEO. She admits she's very controlling, and she blames on the fact that she's actually from the Bronx, which I think is a cop-out. She agrees that it's a big roadblock in their relationship as to why it hadn't moved forward, because she's very controlling. Now, the key to this particular thing is that it's okay to go out on a date, but you don't want it to be to the point where you go on a second date. And the reason why I say, because I've been watching this season and I've noticed that people that go on the second dates, most time they to the point where they give their partner not only red flags or things to think about, but most importantly, it's like they're trying to revisit what they had, considering that this particular episode they letting them go out with exes. See, normally they just let them go out with on a date, meaning they go out with a random person they never met. But Jill says that she's jealous. She's, in my mind, she's jealous, but yes, she's confident. I know that contradicts you, but it is what it is. That's the best way I can, say about that. Now, Jordan and Jadea went on date with new people. Now, they was the one that stepped outside the box. They also seem like they're about the only couple out that actually has a chance of actually making it and actually, getting to the altar. You can tell that he respects her. He lets her speak. He listens. He's not to the point that he's trying to, do anything outside the box or anything to jeopardize a relationship. But I think he really needs kind of like a nudge in the right direction, if that's the right word I'm using, in order to, put a ring on it. I don't think he has a problem with commitment per se, but I think he's kind of nervous and afraid to actually put a ring on it. He's never been married, so I don't know. Maybe that's probably why. Now, Rick is to the point that he is goes out on date with his ex. That's a red flag. Charlene responds by saying in the confessional that he can be controlling at times. And I was like, okay, now you want to tell us that. But I think she just wanted to put that in there as justification for why she was upset that he wanted to go out with his ex-wife again. I personally understand why at the end of the day, not only she your ex-wife, but you decided to go on the second date. Because he could have had the option of going out with somebody new. Now, the couple became very pissed despite their differences. This is a new, and it's very articulate. Now, the reason why I say that Charlene's articulate is because Charlene is to the point that she knows what she wants. And what she wants is that she wants this man to marry her by no every means possible. Because she even said when they first got to this particular show that, she had a problem with the fact that he's been married before. But she tried to be patient considering that he'd been married, and she knows, he's a little skeptical about marrying, not the point he don't want to marry her, but he want to do it right, if that makes sense. In other words, when he married this time, he want to make sure it's real and that it's going to be authentic, which is understandable. But I'm giving him the side eye, considering that he not only went out with his ex-wife, but he went out with her again. I was like, you could have picked anybody, any of your exes. Why would you pick your ex-wife? But, hope she paying attention because I am. Jay and Jasmine go on what's called a date night. Because remember, there's a couple that stepped outside the box and decided that they was not going to do the exes. They're going to do new people. Jasmine is super excited to go on her date. In my mind, that's a red flag. She wants her man, Jay, to actually, be sober when he goes out on his date. And the reason why she says because she don't want him to do nothing stupid, and most important, she wants him to have a clear and sober mind. Now, here's the kicker. Keep that in mind. What she just said. Her boyfriend decides before her date steps in the door after he's introduced himself that before they leave out that he wants to have a shot. Now I was looking at him kind of, side eye, like, why would you want him to be liquored up before they go out? He did that because he said in his mind he wanted to be able to get the tag number down. I'm like, okay, this screams that I am basically controlling. I don't want her to do nothing. It is what it is. But she's a cute lady and she's very, very, very articulate. She is a CEO. So he pretty much know that, if he lose her, he lost a good thing. And I think that's pretty much what it is. But I think his insecurity is pretty much what's going to keep them in the actual girlfriend slash boyfriend zone. I don't even think they're going to make it to the fiance zone. Now, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Now, the man that actually came to pick her up was actually Jason. Jason was very, very cool. He's a trainer. He's buff. He's to the point he's cool. I can understand why this particular guy was actually, taken aback by him, but that was a little drastic to try to get that man tag number. I mean, come on. But I think he probably did it pretty much for a wow factor to see, if people would kind of say, you get them talking or whatever. But I don't really think he put the tag number. But I thought that was so funny that he wanted them to take shots. Now, I know previously on a couple, they're not on it no more. They decided they weren't going to continue the journey. They wanted to pray. And I'm going to say they, because she went in on it too. When her date came in, the husband wanted them to pray. And I was like, okay, there's nothing wrong with prayer, but this is not the time to actually do a prayer. And I think he did it to try to be not only kind of nice, nasty, and get on his nerves, but he did it for low downness. Because at the end of the day, he really didn't want her to go out, but that's a part of the process. But that we don't have to worry about them no more because they self-eliminate themselves. I personally am glad because you can tell that they really weren't there for the right reasons. And reason why I said for the right reason, they was not there to trust the process. Because the husband, I say husband, because she gonna probably be silly enough to marry him. She wasn't to the point where she was gonna do the steps and do how they want to do on this particular show, and they want to ride their own way. So it's pretty much was a blessing in disguise that they actually decided to self-eliminate themselves. But at the end of the day, I actually love this particular episode because at the end of the day, we get a chance to see these people are not in their element. We see them go on dates. We see their personalities. And also, like I said, Charlene and her actual boyfriend, they get to the point where they really, really test it because the waters that he going in, he already been there before and he saw that it didn't work. So why would he want to go on not only out, but want to go out with his ex? If I was her, I would run and I would run fast. Because at the end of the day, he's not only playing in her face, but he's trying to get a reaction out of her. Because he already said the relationship wasn't salvageable. So why would you bring her back of all the exes? But Jay comments on his dates. Excuse me, guys. Comments on his date and says that he likes how she smells. They actually went on a actual date to a cute little I thought it was gonna be a wine taste, but it actually got to the point they was actually making perfume scents because they were sampling things and she was putting things on her wrist and he actually was sniffing. I thought it was cute and flirtatious at the same time. Now his date seemed like she really was into him. She gave him eye contact, and she basically felt you would think that they had been going on dates for years. They were actually a couple. They had more chemistry than him and his actual lady at the time. Now, Miss Jasmine and Miss J. Jasmine takes his girlfriend out, and I say girlfriend, stay with me. Girlfriend is not really what it is. Actually, it's date. This is very in my mind, I'm giving him a side eye too, cause he seemed like he a little too comfortable being on this date with her, cause his body language when he actually in the actual meetings with the doctor and the rest of the couples, he seems like he's a little nonchalant. She's pretty much over there. He's not there. They're not holding hands. They're not doing none of that. But when they get in the house, you can tell that he's very, very bothered, and you can tell that his body language shows that he's a little bit, jealous. He don't really express it per se by his mouth, but you can tell by his body language. Now, Brittany is Josiah's date. And she's the lady that I told you that they went to the actual thing and came up with perfume scents. And they basically got a signature scent. And I was like, okay. But overall, I think these couples did really, really good when it came down to dating because at the end of the day, they knew the assignment, they actually executed it. Now, even though Charlene's particular boyfriend, I think he went overboard considering not only who he picked, but the fact he had the audacity to pick her again, he actually was the only one that really, really did the process correctly. Because at the end of the day, if you decide that you want to pick somebody and be bold enough to pick that the ex-wife, go out on second date, you can pretty much get clarity at the same time. It's not necessarily mean that you're gonna try to get back and test the waters per se. But in my mind, I feel like he's doing it to get a reaction out of Charlene. And Charlene was cool. She pretty much held her own because it couldn't have been me. That meeting would have been over. I would have left him because at the end of the day, you had plenty of exes. I'm pretty sure you could have chose and you wanted to bring back your ex-wife. But yeah, you guys, I am to the point I'm enjoying Put a Ring on It. They actually have a new doctor. She's pretty cool. She's very laid back, and you can tell she's seasoned, and she enjoys doing what she do. Now, I'm sad to see the other doctor go away because we were so used to having her. But there's nothing wrong with change. It is what it is. I think this new lady is going to mesh really well. She gives great uh, conversation pieces, as I say. She basically, gives some gems along the way, and she pretty much listens. And you can tell she likes interacting with them. And I think she's gonna be real cool. I'm just sad to see Dr. Nicole go. I like her thing because Dr. Cole been doing it for a minute, and I feel like she gives them great advice. But I'm gonna stick around and see where this thing goes with Put a Ring on It. I'm hoping they continue on and get another season coming. Keep them coming because I like Put a Ring on It. I like the whole aspect of it. It basically puts the couples to the point where they put to the test and they decide if they can really stand the test of time. And just like the title says, they either stay together or put a ring. I mean, stay together, go their separate ways. I'm sorry, and eventually they got to decide whether they want to put a ring on it. I think we got probably about 2 or 3 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, to where we get to that point. I will keep you guys abreast, and most important, I will give you guys a review. I'm sorry that I had to start on this particular episode. It wasn't to the point I wanted to do that, but I was to the point I was trying to put out my regular content, which is my actual reactions. I noticed you guys actually like the reactions versus the reviews, but I hope you guys will just take my content for what it is. I'm trying to give you diversity and just watch all my videos. Like I told you guys, we're on the road to 1K. I appreciate you guys. My goal is to get to 900. I'm hoping you guys will get me to 900 by my birthday, which is next Saturday. If you guys do that for me, I promise I will do a giveaway. It won't be big. It'll be $25. I'll probably do it in the form of gift card. And I hope you guys are actually, keep supporting the channel. And those who've been here and already subscribed, just keep showing me support by actually like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, leaving a comment. Sharing is caring when it comes to being over here. If you're not familiar with me, go look at my last review I did on Truth Hurts being blasted by Sin City. Please go over there and show that video some love. Get my likes up. I see a lot of y'all have been watching, but can you please get the likes up? And if you're new to that video, please watch it in its entirety. Like I told you guys, I'm trying to get my watch hours up. I'm going to get monetized over here. And when we get to the point we get monetized, I will be giving giveaways. When I reach milestones, I promise I will get given back to you guys. It won't be the point that I'm just, doing what I do and won't get back because I appreciate you guys. But I appreciate you guys so much for even you taking the time to even check out my channel. I won't stray away from the actual reactions, but I'm going to be bringing you guys more reviews, like I said, and I will also be working on my shorts. If you have a Facebook, you can actually follow me over to Facebook as well. My name over there is Demetrius Jones. And if you're familiar with TikTok, same thing, Demetrius Jones. I appreciate the support and the love on my channel. Check out my community tab. I just shared out the friend zone. If you're familiar with her channel, go over there and check her out. I love you guys and happy Easter. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.